but I'm right there with you. I think that he is so vindictive that he will go after however he has to, through the IRS maybe, or even through sponsors to get us off the air, maybe, or you. How seriously should we be taking that?
Well, so I was asked, am I worried about me? And my answer was, I'm worried about all of us. I'm no more worried about me than I am worried about everybody in the country. I think it's bad to have somebody saying, give me as much power as you can in this country so I can use it to go after other Americans.
Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and the rest of The View have said some absolutely insane things over the last 6 months to a year, and obviously before that, but they have gotten so insane recently. But this clip might be the most insane one of all of them. I feel like I've said that a few times, but I'm serious about this one. This one is absolutely nutty. And I think that they actually believe these things is the crazy part. A lot of people are going to hear what Joy Behar and The View have to say about this certain topic, and they're going to be like, oh, they're just playing it up for their audience. You know, this is what they have to do. They have to keep taking things to the new extreme because that's just how you make more money and keep eyeballs on you and stuff like that, which can be true. But I genuinely believe that these people, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, The View, they actually believe these things that they're saying, which is scary, very, very scary, because the things that they're saying are absolutely nutty. And Tim Pool absolutely destroys them, and he does a great job of doing so. Let's get into this video here of Joy Behar being worried that Trump will put Maddow and The View off the air and they think that they're going to lose their jobs if Donald Trump gets elected. And they genuinely believe this. I really think they do. Let me know in the comments. Do you genuinely think that The View and these people believe these crazy things that's going to happen if Donald Trump gets in office? Like, I know that's a common, figure of speech to say the sky is falling, the world is ending if Trump gets in office. These people genuinely think the world is going to end if Trump wins the next presidency. And Tim Pool just lets them know just how ridiculous they're being. Let's check out this video here from Timcast IRL.
Alex, Joy Behar is worried Trump will pull Maddow off and The View off the air. I saw that meme. I can't remember who said it. They said, Lord, oh, it was Aaron McIntyre. He said, Lord, give me the Trump the left has created in their delusional minds. So here's the clip. Let's play it.
So you said recently that you thought that you, as an outspoken critic, could be a target yourself. Some people think that sounds overdramatic, but I'm right there with you. I think that he is so vindictive that he will go after however he has to, through the IRS maybe, or even through sponsors to get us off the air maybe, or you. How seriously should we be taking that?
Well, so I was asked, am I worried about me? And my answer was, I'm worried about all of us. I'm no more worried about me than I am worried about everybody in the country. I think it's bad to have somebody saying, give me as much power as you can in this country so I can use it to go after other Americans. So I can use it to go after these subhuman internal enemies and I'll destroy them. Like, that's just not a good system for anybody. And I don't think anybody's safe if that's the sort of basis on which he wants to get more power.
Well, remember when Nixon had an enemies list? That was a proud moment for a lot of people if they were on the enemies list. Maybe we need to turn it around like that.
Well, I think that if he decides that he's going to go after you or me or anybody who's well known, we have resources. We'll likely be fine. But I think there's a pattern where he picks out individual people and effectively terrorizes them. There's Stormy Daniels wearing a bulletproof vest to get into
it's ridiculous.
These people are just absolutely insane. Like, how has Tim Pool and Timcast crew gotten through this far in without pausing? This is absolutely nutty. What example? They just gave Stormy Daniels wearing a bulletproof vest as an example. We all know that's ridiculous. I don't need to go into why that's ridiculous. Okay, we all know that's ridiculous. What is another example of Trump pick out like a normal person and saying, I disagree with you, your life will be ruined, I will terrorize you? When has that ever happened? Ever? That's never happened. Like, what they're saying is like, me and you will be fine, Joy, because when Donald Trump gets in office and he takes us out, because the president obviously has the power to do that. He can just take down whatever TV show he wants, because if Trump had the power to do that, he definitely wouldn't have taken down CNN and MSNBC and all these other outlets that were smearing him. He definitely wouldn't have done that the last time if he had the power to do that, right? But obviously this time around, Trump's going to have this crazy power, just take down whatever show, whatever person he wants, not even shows. He's able to just pick you out of your job and say, your life is ruined, you're homeless now. Thank you. That's the job that he's going to have. And me and you, Joy, we'll be fine because we're rich. But the normal average person is who I'm worried about. The normal mom, the single mom who's in the stands right now. If you say that you think immigration You know, if you think the border should just stay as it is and we should just have free immigration and no borders, Trump's going to go pick out that single mom and maybe even steal your child from you. That's what Trump does. You know, he just terrorizes random people who disagree with him. Like that's what they're saying here. Like it's so ridiculous. They believe it though. They're straight-faced.
Courthouse, right?
Once you have political violence, you have fascism following that.
So Stormy Daniels chose to be in this space, but I just want to point out how they're telling on themselves.
Yeah.
The things they are doing, they're like, oh, Trump might do what we do.
Yeah, Trump might do the exact things that we have done. I don't know, let's say to Mike Lindell, who had all of his products pulled out of stores, or I don't know, Donald Trump, who's been the target of specific persecution. Like,
or when she mentions the little guy, like, we have resources, we'll be fine. Yeah, when the big tech companies, for leftist reasons, went after all of these smaller Trump supporting accounts.
Or when
the Jan Sixers, like the list could go on.
It's crazy to me that, but what's interesting to me is it feels like Joy Behar has no idea. She's like, it hadn't even occurred to her that the things that she is describing are things that they're actually doing. Whereas Rachel Maddow feels like she's like, well, you know, as these are strategies we have observed, they might turn them on us. And it makes me think that there is sort of a level of sheep-minded Democratic voter that is like, no, but like when we're doing it, or this stuff is different because it's for justice and those people are bad. And she's like throwing out political violence because, you know, 2020 was marked by left-wing rioters that destroyed cities, but that is not political violence to her. It's very weird.
If you enjoy content like this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Rachel Maddow knows this is something that's happening, and that's why she's fearful of it. She is at least appearingly cognizant of the fact that she is describing things that her side, so to speak, is actively already doing.
Yeah, and I mean, I think clips like this have started to become more common in the past 2 weeks. I honestly think this is them sweating. They see that we're seeing through the lies. They know what's coming, and they're fearful of it, and they're trying their best to, you know, position themselves and defend from attacks and spin. But at the end of the day, I think they know that MAGA is an unstoppable force, and it's a popular one, and they're up against a real fight, and they're freaking out because their lies are about to come crumbling down.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting when Joy was like, we're talking about a list. She said, oh yeah, Nixon had lists of people that maybe we should go ahead and do that before they do that to us.
She's saying Nixon had an enemies list, and it was like honorable to be on it. So maybe we should consider it being a privilege and an honor to be deemed an enemy.
Oh, I see. Okay. Rather, she's not saying to create an enemies list.
No, they already got them.
I just also think there's a level of narcissism. Like, the first thing Trump is going to do, his top priority is getting The View off the air.
He never took a show off the air, as far as I know, when he was president.
No, he's not going to take a show off the air.
He never shut a radio station down, not like Zelensky did.
Like I was saying, if he had the power to do that, he would have done it last time. Or if maybe he does have the power. If he had the desire to do that, he would have done it last time. The whole meme, like leading up to the 2016 election, was like the fake news, like that. You know, he's always trashing on CNN and MSNBC for trying to smear him. That was like his number one public enemy, number one going into 2016 was the fake news. You know, if he was going to take people down, he would have done it. And his last term that he served, it's just so ridiculous that they're trying to, like, they make a great point here. Like Tim Pool, the Timcast crew, they make a great point. Like, they're telling on themselves. They're saying exactly what is happening to Donald Trump. That's exactly what's happening to Donald Trump. The DOJ is being weaponized against him, and it's very obvious. They know that, and they support it. Anytime that it's ever happening to anyone except for them, except for people that they agree with, they're all for it. You know, the cancel culture and weaponizing the DOJ against certain people because of their beliefs and ideals, they're fine with it. The View is fine with it. Joy Behar, all these people, Rachel Maddow, they're all fine with it. When it's happening to them or people who are on their side, that's when it's like, oh, the horror of what might be, by the way, what has never happened yet, what might be, the horror of this scenario that they're making up in their head that is never going to happen, you know?
Did he did he get anybody fired from their role in the news industry? I don't think he got one person fired.
As far as I know, but we do know that that reporter from the Tennessee Star who was publishing the manifesto, he's facing legal retribution for that.
For what?
He was publishing Audrey Hale's manifesto, and she's the shooter from the Christian school shooting, or Covenant School, and he is now facing legal consequences for this from the local government. So what you're saying is that the government does go after journalists, just left-wing governments? It's crazy.
I think what Don would do, Donald Trump, is he would go personal at people he didn't like. He wouldn't be like, from the power invested in me, I'm stripping you of your wealth and putting you in prison for these. He would just be like, you're fat. Deal with it. And like, But the problem is, when he became president, he had all these people behind him, this new crowd of like sycophants that were willing to like live and die by the words, hypothetically, theoretically, or whatever, metaphorically. And so when he would insult people, there's this armada of people that would come and insult the person, in addition, that he didn't have before he ran for president. When he went from popularity 1 to 100 magnitudes, 100 times more popular. So that, I think, when people criticize like his bullying tactics or his like going at people one-on-one, it became kind of spiraled out of his control. When he would insult someone, it wasn't just like a one-on-one anymore. So I see why people are concerned with that behavior, but he didn't exhibit it that much. Like Rosie O'Donnell, he would duke it out with her.
But that was only pre-2016 election.
Yeah, it was real early in his career as a politician. If even, he didn't really do it. Did he do it after he was president a little bit? No. Other people, he didn't go too hard. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch his stuff.
He makes up like nicknames for people, like he's notorious for that, making up like Sleepy Joe, Crooked Hillary, all these things. But that's like presidential candidates. The View is saying, like, I think they're kind of missing that part where Rachel Maddow was saying, Joy Behar, me and you will be fine, but I'm worried about the average Joe, the average person that Donald Trump is just going to terrorize for no reason. It's like, Donald Trump has never done that. All the people that he's ever gone after is normally, number one, in retaliation to something that they have said about him. Number two, his political adversary. That all political adversaries go at each other. It's kind of their job, trying to get elected. So that's the main part that I found absolutely absurd about what The View and Joy Behar and Rachel Maddow were saying there.
But he wasn't like too hard in the paint with individuals.
I mean, the question is, does Joy Behar think that Biden has the power to be able to, and I mean, if Tucker Carlson was still on Fox or, anyone else, like, could he shut down a station that's privately owned? Does she think that's how this works? Or she thinks that Trump is suddenly going to invent powers that Biden doesn't already have? Like, it's so illogical because it's ultimately deeply emotional. Because again, and I say this, I feel like too often, but I'm going to be a broken record here. All of this is just fear-mongering, right? Democrats don't have anything positive to run on, so they have to run on fear-mongering and compliance.
They're just going to act like, if you ask them that question, they would say, no, Joe Biden, of course, doesn't have the power to do that. Because if they said yes, then that would be kind of an admission that Joe Biden is doing that to Donald Trump right now. But of course, whenever Donald Trump gets in office, well, he has these special magical powers, like he's Darth Vader or something, that no other politician in the history of time has ever, possessed. And Donald Trump can just like mind control people and make them commit political violence and take people out, like Joy Behar in The View. It's wild. The propaganda that I think a lot of leftists are just spreading it because they want Donald Trump to lose. I think Joy Behar and The View and Whoopi Goldberg and Rachel Maddow, I think they all truly 100% believe what they're saying. I genuinely think this. They think Donald Trump has some magical powers that he's going to use for bad whenever he gets in office. They just, his magical dark side powers that he has whenever he gets elected president, they just become super, super duper powerful. Like they get, enchanted or something. And now he's just able to take over the entire planet with his dark magical powers. I think Joy Behar and The View actually think that. They're terrified of the guy. I think they genuinely are. This isn't fear-mongering. It's not propaganda that they're spreading. They have been a victim already of the fear-mongering and propaganda. And they're just like, another cog in the system where they're just spitting out that same brainwashing and propaganda that they were affected by. Let me know in the comments what you think about Tim Pool and Tim Cast going after Joy Behar and The View for what they're saying. That's obviously ridiculous in my eyes. Let me know in the comments if you completely disagree. Would be happy to hear it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole Tim Pool and Tim Cast versus The View situation.